So we were already talking about Viltrumite Adam Eve and how broke she'd been. But here's the thing, even the most overpowered characters have people who can beat them. There's always someone stronger, right? So I started wondering who could actually kill this monster we created. Number 8. Strange Outliers. We can start with the big picture outsiders. These are the kind of characters who don't fit into the usual fighting styles, but could still put Viltrumite Adam Eve in serious trouble. Think about multiverse threats, creatures or beings who come from completely different realities or have powers that don't just punch hard but rewrite the rules of existence. These guys might not be physically stronger, but they have tricks like psychic control, trapping people in endless loops of time, or erasing someone from existence entirely. Those are the things you can't just fight your way out of, no matter how strong or fast you are. So if Viltrumite Eve faces a being who can trap her in a never-ending time loop, she might not have a chance. Or if someone erases her from every reality, leaving no part of her behind, she's done for. While these threats are rare, they're scary because they work outside normal battles. You don't outpower them, you try not to get caught at all. And speaking of working together against impossible odds, number 7, the Coalition's heavy hitters. If one hero can take down Viltrumite Eve alone, then a whole team can. Imagine the strongest fighters from the Coalition: Alan the Alien, Tech Jacket, Thaddeus, and some of the other tough warriors, which all joining forces to bring her down together. Their plan would be to overwhelm her with everything they've got. Some will keep her busy in close combat, distracting her and trying to hold her attention, while others fire energy blasts or use high-tech gadgets aimed at weakening Viltrumite biology. They might try to slow her powers or stop her from healing quickly. Do you want to know the tricky part? Eve's ability to rewrite matter at the atomic level means that if she gets even a tiny moment to focus, she could completely change the battlefield. She could turn their weapons into useless junk or build energy walls that no technology can break through. Will be one of the toughest fights anyone could face. Still, with enough teamwork and smart moves, maybe, well just maybe, they could take her down. If you think that sounds rough, wait till you hear about one of the most brutal Viltrumites of all the Conquest, Viltrumite Destroyer. Number 6. Conquest. Conquest is basically like Omni-man's darker, meaner cousin, but it's way worse that he's been fighting for centuries, and he's not interested in just winning fights. He wants to completely destroy his enemies. Total no mercy, all-out destruction. If Conquest ever locked eyes with Viltrumite Eve, things could get brutal fast. He fights up close with pure rage and raw power, tearing through anything and anyone in his way just to get his target. There's no holding back with him. Eve would have to keep her distance because one hit from Conqueror's deadly hands could seriously mess her up. He wouldn't give her a single second to breathe or regroup. He'd chase her down, smashing and crushing everything in between them until she couldn't fight anymore. The only chance Eve has to survive is by completely disintegrating him before he finally gets close enough. But that's easier said than done. Speaking of relentless fighters who never quit, that brings us to Battle Beast, the warrior who lives for the fight itself. Number 5. Battle Beast. Battle Beast is pure chaos wrapped up in a furry, tough package. This guy lives for fighting. Seriously, he's the kind of warrior who jumps into any battle with a huge grin, ready to take on anyone, no questions asked. He is just stronger than we thought. Even if Adam Eve threw him halfway across the planet, you can bet he'd shake it off and come back charging, wielding his massive mace and looking for the next smash. And what makes him really dangerous is how fast he adapts. Every hit he takes just teaches him a little more about his opponent's style, and he uses that knowledge to come back even stronger. He never backs down, no matter what. If Battle Beast fought Viltrumite Eve, it'd be one of the most wild, brutal fights ever. She might win sometimes, but he'd definitely leave his mark because maybe a few scars and broken bones she'd have to heal. Now, if you thought Battle Beast was tough, wait till you meet Alan the Alien. An entirely different kind of fighter. Number 4. Alan the Alien. Alan might not be a Viltrumite, but don't let that fool you, he's no pushover. Every time he gets hurt and heals up, his body actually becomes stronger and tougher. So, the longer a fight goes on, the more dangerous he becomes. Now facing Eve with her crazy energy powers and force fields, Ellen would need to get creative. She could just throw up a solid wall of energy to keep him out or even mess with his weapons, breaking them before he gets a chance to swing. Ellen fights in a way that's hard to predict. His mix of raw power and growing strength make him a serious challenge, especially if he can survive those first few powerful hits. This battle would really be a test of endurance and willpower. Ellen trying to wear down Eve and Eve trying to stop his relentless attacks. When it comes to the warrior who never quits, that should lead us closer to home with Mark Grayson, Invincible himself. Number 3, Invincible, Mark Grayson. Mark Grayson, or Invincible as we all know him, might not have the same crazy matter-bending power that Adam Eve does, but he's got something just as powerful and pure determination. This guy has been through so many fights, survived things that seemed impossible, and somehow keeps coming back stronger every single time. If Mark went up against Viltrumite Eve, it wouldn't be easy for either of them. She could try to change his body or mess up with the environment around him, but Mark's experience and stubbornness might help him find a way to fight back. He's very smart and quick to adapt when things get tough. Now, Mark might not win every time, but he's definitely someone Eve wouldn't want to underestimate. Speaking of Viltrumite heavyweights, if we were talking raw power and ruthless skill, no one beats Thragg, the Grand Regent of Viltrum. Number 2, Thragg. If you want to meet the strongest, fastest, and most ruthless Viltrumite alive, you might meet Thragg. Are you thinking that he is just a Viltrumite? Then you are wrong. He is the leader of their entire race, a battle machine with centuries of fighting experience under his belt. Thragg's way of fighting is simple but deadly that overwhelms his opponents so much that they don't get a single second to think or catch their breath. Now, Adam Eve's powers are amazing, but they need her full focus. She has to concentrate to bend reality and control matter at the atomic level. Thragg's non-stop aggressive attack could keep her from getting that focus. If he fights smart and moves fast, he might actually be able to take her down. But that kind of fight wouldn't be easy for anyone. It would be brutal and intense, and speaking of someone with serious Viltrumite strength, let's talk about the one who started it all, the Omni-man. Number 1, the Omni-man, Nolan Grayson. Omni-man is the benchmark every other Viltrumite is measured up against. He's basically the face of the Viltrumite race and the one who shows us just how powerful and dangerous these guys can be. The man's got brains, speed, strength, and you name it. He's fast enough to fly across planets in seconds and strong enough to punch through mountains without breaking a sweat. Now, if Omni-man ever has to go up against Adam Eve as a Viltrumite, it will be a seriously intense fight. Well, see, Eve isn't just a brute force fighter, then what? She had got the power to change things at the atomic level. Now that means if Omni-man slips up even for a moment, she could reshape the entire battlefield, turn the fight around in ways he might not expect. So for Omni-man to win, he'd have to strike fast and hard like the lightning, quick, which even before Eve realizes what's happening. One powerful blow might be enough to take her down if he's precise and ruthless. But the problem here is if Eve gets even a second to breathe or focus, she could flip the whole fight upside down. And at that point, Omni-man would be the one on the ropes, trying to keep up with her reality-bending powers. Honestly, a fight between those two would be one for the ages, and a battle where anything can happen. So there you have it, folks, the 8 fighters or teams who could even think about killing Adam Eve if she were a Viltrumite. Most of them would need luck, skill, and timing to pull it off because Eve would be one of the hardest beings to kill in the universe. Remember, this isn't just about strength, it's about who can act fast, who can strategize, and who can exploit that tiny window before Eve's power kicks in full force. Honestly, Viltrumite Adam Eve might be unstoppable, but that's what makes this question so much fun. Who do you think could really take her down? Let me know in the comments, and like, share, and subscribe for more. Adios!